All right, so we'd like to welcome you back here on the Barber Biz podcast. For those of you listening in on barbarbizpodcast.com, if you're on YouTube, on our page, thank you for subscribing. Facebook, if you caught a promo video or audio on our Instagram page, or even those on SoundCloud, we'd like to really thank you for taking the time out to listen to these interviews that we have. And for today, we have a great guest, Mr. Master Barber. Is actually what his Instagram tag is, Mr. Hans Clinton, Jason Clinton, also known as Dr. Fillin. For those of you who may have seen him at the Bronner Brothers show, and we really got a chance to sit down with him. He works at the J Spot and over in Midtown, so we appreciate the fact that he was able to take some time out of his day to sit and chat with us briefly. So, without further ado, let's get to the interview. All right, so we would like to welcome you back to the Barber Biz podcast. And I'm your host again, Dan Brown, and we have a special guest today. He describes himself as a God lover, father, provider, an educator. He also has some other terms, haircut hero, okay, an innovator, Mr. Master Barber, Mr. Hans Clinton.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, we would like to thank you for being able to take on the time from your day to be able to sit down with us. But we're going to get right into it.
No problem.
So like I said, thank you again for being able to. We know that you usually have appointments in the early part of the day. I'm getting to you later in the afternoon, so you came all the way back just for me.
Oh,
so
definitely.
I greatly appreciate it.
Definitely, man. You my man, Dan the man. I'm going to come back for you, man. Anytime. You know that.
So, okay. So real quick. So how did you get started in the industry?
Oh, wow. I come from, I guess what you would call a barbershop family. You know, my granddad had a barbershop, and to be honest, man, it's a lot like the movie. You know, Barbershop with Ice Cube. We loved being at the shop. We loved the way people treated my granddad. Like, we loved it, man. He was that guy in the neighborhood. You know, we even had a dude just like Checker Fred, you know, that was always being there with my granddad playing chess. So, yeah, man, that was sort of our environment. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, you know, my dad cut a little bit, and we would still stay. Even after he left, we would stay, you know, just to hang out with my granddad, because, you know, granddad lets you do anything.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, we sort of fell in love with the environment, man. And me, I guess I took it a lot more personal because I love the admiration that my granddad got. I loved it, man. So, absolutely. Yeah, I started pretty young.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from South Bronx, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long you been down there in Atlanta?
I've been in Atlanta 8 years.
Okay, so how do shops differ in terms of being in the Bronx and being down here in Atlanta?
Probably work ethic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
In what sense?
Work ethic.
Because you're about to get some people mad. So
yeah, well, it's cool. You know, I don't really mind if anybody is mad. You know, it's an interview. It's my opinion. But where I'm from, South Bronx is very, let's just say, urban.
Okay.
We'll just say urban. So it's a lot of Latins there.
Okay.
And the Latins there sort of dominate the game. Okay. Even, you know, for us, even for black hair, the Latins here dominate. When I came to Atlanta, I started seeing more of us meaning black people, doing our thing. Yeah. You know, so I know everybody always thought, because I'm from New York, I'm gonna pick New York, their work ethic is better. No, it's a little different. It's a lot more sort of crabs in the barrel type of situation. You know what I mean? It's like a shop on every corner, and guys can't understand that, you know, your work ethic is really what sort of separates you. You know, that's something that you can't learn. Yeah. We can all learn how to be a better barber, technically. Yeah. But, you know, if you just don't have a work ethic, you don't have to worry about it. So, you know, I did a little research. I found out Atlanta had the biggest concentration of millionaires. I packed my bags and said I'm on my way to go get mine too. So, yeah, I like the work ethic here of the people in Atlanta. I do.
Interesting. And how long did you say you've been down here?
About 8 years, almost 8 years.
So would you ever go back?
Well, probably not move, no.
So you go back to visit, but not to live?
All the time, never. I moved from Atlanta, baby. I'm going to Bahamas or something. Yeah, never, man. And, you know, plus I got a little spoiled to the weather. You know, you got to understand where I'm from, man. It's winter like 6 months. Yeah. Yeah. So who would you say then were some of your influences in terms of being able to develop that work ethic? Because like you said, it's not something that technically you can get.
But you had to learn it from somewhere.
Definitely.
So who that you say that comes from, that work ethic?
Definitely from my parents. I gotta give them that. My dad always gave my mom the opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom, and I actually watched him get into an argument because he said that to her. Like, are you crazy? Like, and I know most women would probably, jump at that opportunity like, oh, I could just stay at home. But my mom had 2 jobs, and my dad had 3.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times I come from a very big family of 16 of us.
15 brothers and sisters.
Yes, I got 7 brothers and 8 sisters. So we always had a built-in babysitter of some sort. You know what I mean? I'm almost in the middle. I got brothers and sisters under me and brothers and sisters older than me.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, man. There's 16 of us. So yeah, man, I watched my parents go to work, come home, rest, go to work, and still find time to be our parents. So I sort of envied them. And I guess the thing that made me sort of take off in another direction was, of course, I wanted the money, but I wanted to try to just work, old cliche, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
So we all like the money.
So how long have you actually been cutting hair? So,
ooh, man, you making me tell my age here.
I mean, you don't tell the age.
I don't mind. I've been a professional barber. I've had a license for 28 years.
Okay.
But I've been cutting for 33 years.
Okay. So you haven't had any other jobs outside of that?
Well, in high school, you had a little, up top, they call it like Voltec and those type of things. But no.
Wow.
No.
So when it comes to the fact that right now, and you said you've been in this shop that you're at right now for how long about?
We've been here almost 2 years.
Okay.
Almost 2 years.
So you like the location, everything's going well for you?
I love the location. When I first moved here, the very first shop I went in, they called me bougie. Like, they really called me that.
Why?
Because I would only take appointments.
So that was bougie then?
Yeah, because one, I was a new guy who didn't have any clientele. I didn't know anyone here. And they was like, how you gonna work if you only take appointments?
So why only take appointments and you don't have any clientele?
Because for me, I have to establish myself immediately. It's the way I am now. Like, to be honest, Dan, I don't have business cards. I don't. My clients are walking, breathing, living business cards.
Wow. That's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. I wanted guys to understand the seriousness of my business. I didn't move here to play. I have a family to take care of, and I knew immediately anybody that I cut the very first time, it's up to me to keep. A lot of people reach out to me now, I guess because of the popularity, but I can't cut them all because a lot of them want to come whenever they feel like they want to come, and it's not that way with me. I'm very structured. I'm very disciplined. So if you're not willing to make an appointment and stick with it, I'm not the barber for you.
But structure and discipline. So you told me you've turned down some people because they cannot get used to the structure of how you handle your business.
Yes, I have.
So that's never been difficult to turn down a customer? Because I'm sure that there might have been some people that maybe they got in 1 or 2 times, and then when they realized actually how structured it was, and you had to tell them, and you had to be, for lack of a better term, you had to be very strict in terms of exactly how you want your business to run.
For me, that's super easy because these are the same people that I see that are structured with everything else they do. They take their job very seriously. Like, they're not late to their job every day, or else they'd be fired. You understand? They're not late when they have to go to the mall because the mall closes at 9 o'clock here. You can't show up at 9:50 and beat on the door and just say, let me in. This is my business, man. So if they can't respect my business like they respect others' business, I'm not the barber for them. So for me, it's very easy. It's not a money situation. I'm in this for the duration of my life. I do this for a living. So, like I said, I'm into working smarter, not harder. How much money can they possibly be paying me to inconvenience me? Because that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
So, would you suggest that when you have an apprentice that gets his license or a barber student that gets their license, would you suggest that they go a similar route in terms of when they get out of school and they start working in the shop?
You know what? I'll be honest. I guess that depends on their character. Because some people will put, basically profit over principle. I'm not that type of man.
Profit over principle. That's pretty principle.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But that's exactly what it is. Because now you're trying to take everybody, you're not understanding. You're just trying to get customers, not clients. And it's a very big difference.
So what's the difference?
Okay. My difference is my clients cannot live without me. That should be the feeling. When you're their barber, you're part of their life. When they get married, they need you. When they got a hot date, they need you. Like, it might not jump off if you can't cut them. Yeah. A customer goes to anybody, anytime, strictly out of convenience. I provide a service that they feel is irreplaceable. That's the difference between a client and a customer.
So, you basically have been in business as a barber. You've had this standard, you've had this way of doing your business for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's been successful, obviously.
Oh, well, I'm okay. Right. I can't really say what people consider successful is, but, I guess to sort of put it into perspective, I have 2 sons in college. I pay for them. I have a home. I'll just say we have a few, what people would consider, I guess, material things.
Okay, I was about to say, toys.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I wasn't sure what you were going to say.
Right, but yeah, but it depends, because a lot of people consider certain standards. Yeah. Basically, from me just standing behind the chair, I made over $130,000 last year. I don't know if people think that's a lot of money or not, but for a guy that all we do is laugh and joke and play at work, and I really get to deal with my friends, I think it's the greatest job in the world to be able to make over $100,000 and I ain't did a day of work. So to me, I'm successful. Yeah.
So I was thinking about something you said earlier on, and it brought to mind this question I had. What are some of the privileges or some of the opportunities that you've had in the industry because of the way that you carry yourself, because of the character that you do have and that you display? What are some of the different ventures that you've been able to get into?
Oh, wow.
I know there's so many of them.
Shut it out.
If you can just try to narrow it down, but just go ahead and speak freely on that.
Okay. I guess some of my first opportunities were magazines, Solid Gold, hair designs. Like, people from up top are familiar with these. I would do ads, and the guys would be like, "You're always in the book." Like, I was one of the first barbers to do an ad in a magazine, like actually pay for myself. And they were like, "Well, what's going on?" They actually offered me an opportunity to be like a barber rep and get other barbers to come into the book. I was a young guy then, man, 19, 20, you know what I mean? So that was like a really big deal because barbers wasn't really, people still treated it like it was for play. Mm-hmm. I was doing it for a living. That's what I was doing. That was some of my early opportunities. Once I started, I guess, cutting what people consider celebrities,
Celebrities.
Yeah, right. With the finger motions.
Okay.
Because y'all can't see us. Finger motions. What they would consider celebrities. It would never be anything that I would sort of tell people or post or anything of the sort. And they would spread it by word of mouth. Like, I like my man. He really structured, and they would start inviting me to their homes. I would meet them, different places, and they'd be like, "Well, can you come to the house?" And I would come to the house, and it would be them, then their friends. And then, you see other people like, hey, this what's her name from so-and-so? Yeah. But it was never really a big deal to me because, of course, on the inside, I'm super excited. Like, this is my man I watch on TV. But on the outside, he's just a client. They do me just like everybody else. They just pay a little more. Yeah. So, yeah, I was always able to keep my balance. And I guess as of late, man, I love working for VH1. I'm actually one of the barbers for VH1. So all the television series that guys see, the Date Naked, Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, everything that you sort of see on VH1, it's a really good chance that I have my hand in. So I like that, just to be honest, simply because of the pay. Yeah. And I got that because of the same way that I treat people. Like, everybody is the same person to me. I'm going to give you the same form of respect as I treat my regular clients. You know what I mean? Guys that still, man, I love working at the shop. They come, they get in the chair, but it still has to be structured. I've turned down opportunities for other shows simply because they want me. I can't be on call because everybody that I deal with, if you're my client, then I owe you that same amount of time as everybody else. So To me, like I said, it's not really a big deal, man, but I'm able to feed my family. And as a man, I can't really complain about anything else. Like I said, it don't feel like I'm doing a day of work. I'm playing, man. You know what I'm saying? I sling them clippers around a little bit, man. We gonna joke and laugh, and I get paid.
So let me ask you this. Now, there's one other venture that I particularly really like because selfishly, it's something that I've been able to personally use, and that's Dr. Fill-In. So speak on that for us, Dr. Fill-In hair fibers.
Okay. Well, I guess for me, it's sort of my second product to sort of push towards the market. Like I said, I've done the magazine, I've been in magazines, I've had my own magazine. I work for shows. We actually try to produce our own little show. Everything that I've ever done, I've always wanted to sort of go to the next level with it, man. I'm tired of being, at barbershops and salons, and I see all the products that they have on their stations, and they don't know any of the people. Like, they just buy it to death. Like, oh yeah, I gotta have it. Like, it'd be such a demand, man. And I don't have to say any names about anything. Barbers that's listening to this, stylists that's listening to this, they know exactly what I'm talking about. If they look at the stuff on their stage, they don't know the people at all, man. So it made me say, that would be kind of dope if I had something and they could see me. Like, you really could come and see, like, oh, this is.
Like you said, that you're visible. They can pull up on you.
Yes, all the time. All the time, man. Actually, Bronner Brothers, maybe about 4 years ago, was the first time I had sort of my education debut. We had a class. Dr. Fill-In was a brainchild then. At that point, it wasn't even out, but we sort of had it in the mix. And we came and I did a class called The Business of Barbering. And it was more so, sort of spoke on the other things, like with the magazine, because, I had the magazine then. That made me feel like, this is dope. Like, they want to come, they want to hear what I have to say. And it was so funny because the class came in and they saw me and they were like, hey, my man, when the teacher gonna come in? like people coming up to me asking me, and I was like, yeah, he be in about 10 minutes. Like, yeah, I had a little fun with it, man, because I'm like, well, then, you sitting here with me now, man. I'm a regular looking guy. Like, I be scruffy, unshaven, holy t-shirts on and everything, man. So, they was asking me when the teacher's gonna come in, and it was super funny because their reaction once the other guy came and shut the door, and I walked to the front of the class, they was like, oh God, right? Like, he's the teacher, but I was relatable. You know what I mean? And that just made me sort of fall in love with it, man. And that's what made me think about the products. Like, I gotta have something, man, that they can understand that I use. I use it on myself. I use it on my clients, and something not chemical driven. I really wasn't trying to destroy what we do. I like the natural thing. I'm one of them type of guys. I got a little bit of nappy hair myself, so I wanted something that we can use on any of us. And that's what made me sort of start doing the fiber thing. I used to work for another company 7 years ago. This company is defunct now. Yeah, I learned a few things there. But they would never market to us, even though we're the biggest consumers in the world. I kept saying, I have to do something for us. And don't get me wrong, I'm a businessman.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a businessman. So that's sort of how.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you see the industry going in the next few years? There's some states that are trying to deregulate barbering. There's some people that have the notion, or they have the thought that it doesn't have the same value as it did back in the day, and so forth and so on. Where do you see the industry headed, going forward in the future?
Well, I'll be honest, man. I think it'll get worse before it gets better. Because, like I said, I travel, I educate, man. I'm all over the country. And the general consensus of so many of the guys that come into the class, young, old, black, white, whatever they are, is that they still treat it like it's a hustle.
Yeah.
So, what do you expect to state?
So, what are some of the short-term goals that you have? And then you can tell me what some long-term goals are.
Okay. Well, short-term right now, it's only two things that I really, really concentrate on. Keeping everybody that's a client to me extremely happy because they pay me. That's always a short-term goal of mine. Always. 2, to become the best educator I can possibly be. So I'm always, I always invite people in. I always listen to every question. I talk to people after classes because that's so important. Continued education.
And then speaking of which, on the barberbizpodcast.com website, we will be posting some of these classes to get the word out. You know what I mean? Under our education portion.
You know
of the
when
site.
you need me.
I don't. You know.
Yeah.
But go. You can get back to your answer now.
You know, whenever
I just
you
wanted
need
to plug
me,
that real
definitely.
quick.
Definitely.
Go ahead.
Definitely.
So
That,
education.
yeah, definitely. Education, man, to sort of get more guys. You know, it's like I said, I love to go out and they say he's the teacher.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You know, and they be like, okay, I can rock with this. Yeah, I can rock with this. You know, it's about the delivery to the students, man. So I think the education, definitely for me, my short term, and I guess long term, probably to grow the brand to where it's something that's international. You know, we deal with a lot of people outside of the country, the Netherlands, Switzerland, surprisingly, Great Britain, you know, Jamaica, Barbados, any of the islands, like, they love the product. So sort of getting guys to understand there is something else you can do still related to that. You know what I mean? I don't really want to make everybody into a so-called little me. Again, finger gestures. Yeah. You know, little me's. But I want them to understand. Everything that I do is still related to barbering. Yeah. You know, guys be like, oh man, you do everything. You always working. Like, it's because this is my love. This is my passion. This is what I do for a living. You know, and it's cool if I'm on set in a movie. And it's cool if I'm on a TV show. But I'm more comfortable behind that chair. Yeah. Anywhere else in this world. You know what I mean? So if it's going to be derived from that, if that goes to talking to guys that's standing behind the chair, or me standing behind the chair talking to the guys in front of it, I'm fair with that, man. So my long-term goal is to always make this craft back classic.
So you mentioned education a couple times. Would you ever open a school?
I would like to.
As you're answering it,
right?
I can see that, like, you're thinking about it as you're answering it, but what is it that makes you kind of have that slight hesitation in terms of that? I have a guess what it is.
Yeah.
But
serious students. You know, as far as me finding other educators, that wouldn't really be a problem. I know a lot of people that are dedicated, much like yourself. Much like yourself. No, but seriously, man, it's just serious students, because like I told you, that's the main thing I've run into. Guys will come to the class, but they want to be like, man, how you get to the money? You know, they never want to ask anything else. They're like, oh man, I seen you driving the Benz. What's up? Yeah. I'm like, bruh, right? You know, because that's the first thing. Like, they'll see me coming in, and like I said, they just think I'm a regular guy. They be like, yeah, man, I seen you out there in the 550, bro. Like, what's up? Like, that's all y'all care about, huh? Because I got a 550, you know, and it's cool. Like I said, man, the material things are good. Those are basically the rewards of war, my dude. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this a long time. I've been in the trenches. I tell guys all the time, listen, man, I've done 16 holidays in the shop. You know, guys just want to be there now, you know. But it take a lot of work, man. It take a lot of time, and I stuck to my guns. I don't want anybody short term, man. I don't want nobody I'm going to cut one time, because that's useless to me. What can I do with $45? Put some gas in the car, and then that's really it. That ain't even full time. I don't want anybody that I'm going to cut one time. I want a guy to have an understanding. I need for him to be as serious about receiving a haircut as I am as giving it. That's how I build my clientele.
So give us a last word, your last thought, your last quote, something that inspires you, because I think that you dropped a lot of gems business-wise in terms of how you handle your business to become successful. So give us something to leave off and fade off. Maybe a freestyle.
Yeah, I got no freestyle. Yeah, my rap day's over with. I guess just to be extremely blunt, if you're gonna do it, do it. You know, I see people dedicated to so many other things beside the thing that can push them where they want to be. Like I said, they don't have the discipline to, oh man, I can't believe you started at 4:30 in the morning. There's no way I could do that, because you have that option as a problem. But if you had that job and they told you was going to lose it and couldn't feed your family, you'd be up with no problem. But you won't do it when you get the opportunity to do it for yourself.
Well said. Appreciate it.
Anytime, man. You know that. Anytime.